listening to Average Joes Chess, a chess podcast made by average chess players, but exceptional lovers.
We're gonna make love to you. Average Joes Chess. We're gonna make love to you. Average Joes Chess.
Jofers, episode 29, Jofers.
Episode 29, what we got in store for everyone now?
I'm going to ask you the same question, Jofers. What we got in store?
We do this every single week.
You know I love to test you because we've discussed it. It's a different sort of episode today, isn't it? Because it is me this week who has no commitment to the podcast, deciding to come away on holiday and live like a hermit for a week in a house that has no electricity, except a little bit of solar power. So yeah, not got a lot of charge, Jofers. It's going to be a quick one. We're going to do some of the usual stuff, not all of the stuff. Really, I've got you off the hook, haven't I, in a way? Because how did you get on with your challenge, Jofers?
Your internet broke out at
how convenient. How bloody convenient.
I mean, it's not going to be my internet this time. You're in the middle of the fucking wilderness.
I've got the one thing I did make sure of there is good internet at this place. What I actually asked you, Joe, first was, how did you get on with your challenge this week? We're not doing challenges yet. I'm just curious. How did you get on?
My challenge went beautifully, Al. And I can say that if we're not recapping on challenges, because I didn't actually do it, so I can get away with my life. But
which is what I was saying. I've got you off the hook this week, because we're doing a different sort of episode, aren't we? We are going to be talking about our chess club, our chess week. I have done my challenge, so I'm going to tell you how I got on with that. And then we cut into some bonus content that we are putting out for people on Patreon. We're going to include it here, aren't we, Jofers?
Yeah, so what do you mean by bonus content? What is this content about bonus? I'm all for it, but I just don't remember signing up for it.
It's just bonus content, you know. When people listen to us, I know they enjoy our stuff, and, you know, so we're just going to reward them with bonus content.
Beautiful, let's do it.
So if you want the bonus content, head over to Patreon. There's going to be some stuff on there. Is there, Jofers? Are we going to have it edited and on Patreon by the end of this show?
I am a man of my word, and there's not a chance I'm going to get it done tonight, but I will try. No, I'm going to get it done now. I'm going to pull my finger out, and I'm going to work hard for once, and I'm going to get that content up tonight.
Well, I hope you do pull your finger out, Jofers, because when I've told you about my challenge and the story, it does involve you pulling something out. Maybe not your finger, but you pull something out of that hole. And
does my finger being in just make for a really awkward video call for you right now? Because I am happy to take it out.
It really does. At least you're wearing clothes for a change. So, I mean, that is a good thing, Jofers.
It's progress, our progress.
It is. So I'm sure people don't want to hear any of this, Jofers. What they do maybe want to hear about is chess. And your chess week, Jofers, have you played? I know you've had a shit week at work, you were saying.
Yeah,
do you want to just depress everyone and recap your shit week at work?
Yeah, I do want to share my misery with everyone. It's just been a shit week of work. I don't want to be there anymore. As in at work, not in terms of like life in general. It's not that bad. Like, work ain't good at the moment. I'm just not happy there. And I will be leaving soon, but what I've noticed is when I'm not happy at work, I play really bad chess. I don't know what it is. I don't know if my mind's elsewhere. But I say that, my bullet chess, it's been on fire, man. I'm back up to...
Has it really?
Really has. I don't know what it is. I'll either be the best at chess or the worst at chess. There's no in between with me. But it's been good. But the only downside to my chess week has been the fact that I haven't been able to make any of our chess club tournaments. The Average Joes Chess Club.
Missed out.
Not only have I missed out, but you guys are just slaughtering me in the comments, apparently, when I'm not there.
The best thing about our chess club and the chess tournaments is taking the piss out of you. I mean, I get a little bit of stick as well, don't get me wrong. But it seems to always be directed at you. I don't know. Maybe I encourage it. I don't know.
I think it's because I took a 9:30 bedtime this week, and apparently that just isn't hardcore enough. I don't see why people are expecting a rock and roll lifestyle from a chess podcaster.
What have we set ourselves up for? Maybe that's where we need to have a rock and roll chess lifestyle to accompany. We can tell some outrageous stories at the end of the week. If we make it to the end of the week, maybe that will be a challenge for you, a rock and roll chess lifestyle for a week.
I like it, Al. I like it. And what would be a rock and roll chess lifestyle for you?
Oh, I don't know, like playing bullet chess till 2 a.m.
Oh, wow.
Maybe like, I don't know, a cup of cocoa with some caffeine in or something late at night.
This
so you
is
can play better.
This is a PG podcast, man.
sorry. I'm going to maybe. I mean, training your girlfriend to be your chess champion, and
okay,
you know, not being an exceptional lover of, well, just being an exceptional lover of chess. Really, let's work on this.
We'll work on it.
If you want to write in and tell us how to be a rock and roll chess, or how to live a rock and roll chess lifestyle, then write in and tell us. We'd love to know, and I'm sure, you know, I'd love to challenge Jophers to this one week, and I want video evidence, Jophers.
Okay, let's make it happen, man.
None
Let's
of
make it happen.
Your usual bullshit of, oh yeah, I did that one, and you're just making it up. I know you are, because you've got cameras in your house and your mum's allowed me access to the footage. And unless you're... No, you can take that look off your face. They're not in your bedroom. Stop worrying.
Okay. Anyway, how's your chess week been?
Jophers, I had one day where I played 8 blitz games and I just won them all. Like,
really?
That's rare for me, and I was just on fire.
That's got to be like a 70% win rate accuracy, isn't it?
At least. I wasn't on fire. I was on fire. I didn't play them one after each other, is what I was going to say.
Okay.
I played them over the course of a day, and I was just doing really well at them. I was really pleased. And then it was Junk Trunk Tuesday, which is our Tuesday night tournament. 12 people showed up. So this was on the Tuesday that I got that 8 wins. And I think, where did I finish in that one? Just having a quick look. Well, yeah, so I'm not going to say where I finished in that one.
Go on, where did you finish?
No, well, considering there was 11 people, or 12 people, sorry, I finished joint 7th, which was also
joint 7th is
place.
all right, isn't it?
I got zero points, which meant, like, people much lower rated than me finished above me. I think you finished 3rd. But it did actually just ruined my thing. The interesting thing is Shadmeat01, which I think is a great name. What do you think of that? Shadmeat 01 came joint first with Skyscraper Sculptor. Now, Skyscraper Sculptor is rated 1937.
Wow.
Great rating. But Shadmeat01 is only rated 880, but still came joint first with 13 points, which is pretty bloody impressive.
Check his anus for the bloody Hans Niemann beads.
Alleged Hans Niemann.
Alleged. We should also tell people that we don't always welcome new members by checking their anus. That is just a one-off.
That's just something you want to do. You're proposing we do, but we probably
I just think
not
we need an initiation test, and I think that's the perfect way to do it.
Yeah. Don't listen to Joe first. Join our club. There is no initiation test at this stage, but you're welcome to check Joe's anus. It's not an issue.
There's enough for everyone.
You know what? This podcast has a lot of anus talk this week.
See, I was thinking that there isn't enough.
There's never enough, but I'm preparing the listeners. I'm preparing you all out there. There is quite a bit. If you're not into listening, to this anus talk, what the hell is anus talk anyway? But back to my chess week. It's been a good week. I've enjoyed it. I've been on Chessable most days. I think I missed today, but most days. I'm currently away, but there's great internet, so I'm getting a chance to play a bit of chess. I'm getting to sit in car parks in shopping centres whilst I wait for people, and I play a bit of chess there on my phone. And yeah, just enjoying my chess at the moment. I'm loving the tournaments.
Yeah.
We had our first Chess 960 tournament this week, didn't we? Did you play in that?
No, that was after 8:30, so I was asleep.
Yeah. It was after
my
9.
bedtime.
What time is 960? It's like 10 o'clock, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah. So that was so much fun. I've never played 960 before. Have you played it? Fisher Chess 960, Fisher Random, or whatever it's called.
Sorry, just went to readjust my glasses and poke myself in the eye because I'm not wearing glasses. I must have took them off without realising.
Good job you didn't go to readjust your boxer shorts, because they don't exist either, and I don't know what you would have poked yourself in.
It's a very good point. Chess 960, I think I've played it briefly, but not not in a tournament or anything, just maybe a one-off game against someone, but it kind of intimidates me, I'm a bit of a wuss when it comes to Chess 960.
It was bloody great fun, mate.
Really?
First time I played it, I loved it. I want to play more of it, but unfortunately I don't think you can play it on your phone on the app. I think it's only on your laptop online. But bloody great game, man. It's I loved it. Your brother Luca loved it. We've had feedback saying people loved it. We've been doing a bit of research, haven't we? Because it's a topic we were going to cover today, but we can't because of
next
laptop
week,
issues and being remote. But we will cover it next week. I've done quite a bit of research on it. Really interesting. It's fascinating, actually.
What's your 4 pattern then? So you see the pieces that... So for anyone who doesn't know, it's just your pieces are all muddled up. So it's not your usual structure in terms of where your pieces are. So you might have a knight on A1, for instance, all that kind of stuff. That's
the most inaccurate description I've ever heard.
Is it? Is that not what it is?
Well, not all your pieces. Your pawns are where they normally are.
Okay.
Your other pieces are mixed up, but the bishops are still on opposing colours.
Yeah,
so
of course.
You can't have 2 bishops on light squares.
Okay.
And the rest are muddled up, but you can still do things like castle as well.
Right, okay. So what's your first thought when you see how your pieces are? Do you think...
Sheer panic.
Really? What the fuck do I do?
Especially in the tournament.
So do you think I've got to get my knights out? Do you think... I just don't get how your mind can work. It makes no sense.
Okay, well, we'll cover it next week, but
right.
From my reading so far, follow the normal chess principles and move towards the centre. Everything else you'd normally do, that's what you want to do. But there are some interesting tactical things that can happen from the start.
Okay.
It's just really good, and it just takes all of that opening theory and just bins it. When we talk about it next week, we'll go into all of that. But I've been looking at how the Masters get on, how Magnus Carlsen didn't win at it against... It could have been Wesley So, I can't remember, but lost quite a few games initially. We have got a listener in Norway, and I think that is Magnus or his dad.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if it ain't.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if it wasn't. And maybe Magnus could fill us in at some point on this, but...
Getting filled in by Magnus is literally my lifetime dream.
Oh, Joe Furs, I bet it is. No, he's not going to listen next week, is he? That's it. We've had it.
Put him off. Sorry,
actually,
Magnus.
nobody's seen what you look like yet. We haven't done the YouTube. Once that happens, we'll see where we go from there. But anyway, we'll talk about 960 next week. We're getting sidetracked.
Right.
I love the tournament. Love my chess week. We've had a lot of new people playing in the tournaments. If you want to join us for a tournament, we've got an amazing organiser in the club, Toby, TJP, 191919, who is organising tournaments every day for us. You know, you even put on a Seidel Saturday. You put on early Seidel Saturday, and late Seidel Saturday. So we have 3 tournaments. So that we could, if you're in Australia, New Zealand, India, or somewhere else where I don't actually understand how time zones work, but if you're in those places, you can play in that one. If you're in Texas, like the Boom family, or Connecticut, like Charles, you can play at different times of day. You know what I'm saying. So anyway, Toby's put all these tournaments on. If you want to join us, join our club to start with if you haven't joined. There is no anus inspection, despite what Joe would like. You can just join, sign up, and Joe will inspect it if you want him to. It's entirely up to you. Join, sign up, join the tournament. We have people of all levels. Literally, there's people who are rated 100 to 1,900 who are playing. And I have pretty much lost to all of them. So just join up. Don't be scared. Have a go.
You don't discriminate, do you, Al?
I do not discriminate. I even mentioned that in my story later on about you, Joe, for under a different context.
Okay, can we get to the story, Al? I'm kind of intrigued.
I think we should in a minute. I think we should get to that story. So yeah, Joe, that's my chess week. Been really enjoying it. Before we get to the story, there's some other things here. We did have an email come in this week.
Okay.
I'm just trying to find it. So it said, evening gents, it has been brought to my attention that a pair of holy underwear are for sale. I want them. The chap who has created this art sounds like an up-and-coming sculptor, and I'm always one to support talent within the artistic community. Thanks in advance. And that was sent in by whereismybishop@inmyass.com. I'm not sure if that is a genuine email address. But again, it fits in with the theme of the show so beautifully today.
Oh, mate. I don't want to know how it fits in with the show, but I'm ready. Say it again.
I mean, I haven't made it up. This was actually sent to us. Any response to that? But is it for sale? It is for sale. Are you an up-and-coming sculptor?
I'd say no, but I'll take it.
Yeah, so we had that. That came in this week. Also, I just wanted to mention, I've got a question for you, Jofers, looking through Twitter, now someone who follows us on Twitter and is good enough to often retweet our show, and I believe he's also left us a review. So a great guy called Matt, also known as Tanuki Naz. I think you must have seen him. Yeah. He asked on Twitter, he didn't ask us this, he just asked generally, but he's just said, where or how do you fit in games and what time controls? How seriously do you feel like you take each game? So that made me think, how do you fit in games, Jofers? When do you fit them in? Like, what's your pattern of playing chess? Do you squeeze them in while you're at work? In the mornings while you're having a dump? What's your...
You know what? I do play my best chess on the toilet, but I don't play at work purely because if I get interrupted, that game's lost, and it's just a waste of a game for me personally. I usually, at the moment, I might put aside maybe like 25 minutes or so. I get home, I got 25 minutes, bang out some chess, and then I'm done. But that's just because I'm not playing that much chess at the moment. And also, if I sign up for a tournament, I know that's my half an hour of that day, if that makes any sense. So it's going to be at that time, and then you just go for it. You just make sure you're free at that time.
So I guess the second part of that question was, how seriously do you feel like you take each game? You take them seriously, don't you, Jonathan?
I do. I love my chess out, man. I'm addicted. I like to... I'm competitive with myself. I don't care if I lose the game. I just want to try as hard as I can just to... I don't know. I find it fun.
Do you compete with yourself in most things that you do, Jofers?
It's hard to get the competition now. No one else wants to compete with me in any aspect of chess or love.
Fair enough, Jofers. For me, because I know you weren't going to ask, were you? Were you going to ask me?
No, not interested.
But
go on.
Give a shit, do For me, do you know when I fit games in? Whenever I bloody can, man. It's like cook dinner, game of chess, have a dump, game of chess. I don't know. Anytime, game of chess. Go to bed, games of chess. Go sitting on a park bench, game of chess. I just keep playing.
Such a family man. I bet your family are just so happy that you spend so much of your life with them.
I'm playing right now while I'm talking to you, man. No, I just genuinely, I like to play. So time controls, I base them on how long I've got. So if I haven't got long, I'll play a quick bullet. If I've got much longer, then obviously I might go for something else like I don't really play rapid, but I might play blitz.
Yep.
And then how seriously do I take? I don't take them seriously at all. I just play them, and if I can't finish it, I'll just resign. If I lose, I just don't take it seriously at all. I just play because, like you, I love it and I'm addicted. But I'm not necessarily addicted to winning or improving at chess. I'm just addicted to playing the game.
Because you've never done either of those. If you experienced it, you'd love it, man. I'm telling you.
We're going to talk about how experienced you are in a bit, Jofers.
Oh God.
So yeah, I mean that could lead us on to the challenge. I'm talking really slowly tonight. I think I'm just so relaxed in this cottage I'm in the middle of nowhere. It's a cottage in the woods. It's got an outside bath. It's like a cabin in the woods, outside bath that can be heated with water. You can have it cold. It's just scaring the shit out of me after that Halloween special we did. I mean, if you turn up in your holy underpants and get in, that's it. I'm leaving here, man. But yeah, because
I just love the contrast between our settings. You've got this relaxing, beautiful out in the wilderness thing going on, and all anyone can hear is all the fireworks that are going off around me. Like it's ridiculous, man. It's loud.
It's Diwali, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Diwali. So happy Diwali to anyone celebrating it. But yeah, I apologise to anyone who doesn't like the sound of fireworks in a podcast because it's going to be a noisy one, I think.
Yeah, if you can tone them down, enjoy your celebration if you're celebrating Diwali. But for Joe's sake, just maybe no fireworks in Birmingham tonight.
Exactly.
Yeah, just turn them down. So, yes, Jofers, all I was going to say was I'm going to do my challenge for you if you like.
Okay, do you want to recap on what that challenge was, Al? Because for anyone who didn't have the pleasure of listening to last week's, they're in for a corker right now.
Mm-hmm. But actually, prior to doing that, I just want to say hello to Addison, who's listening in Connecticut, maybe. And Addison is... only 14 years old, Jofa. So I actually think, Addison, you need to switch off right now because this challenge is not suitable for anybody under the age of 16 or maybe even 18. I don't know.
Yeah, I think 16's a push as well, Al. Let's rank that up to 18. I know what's coming.
But no, Addison's learning to play chess. She's listening to our podcast on her dad's advice, who also listens to our podcast. And so, maybe share the podcast with your child, providing they're 14. And don't share it with your child, just share it with your mum or dad or something. I'm just talking myself into a hole here. Should we get on with the challenge?
Fucking wrap it up.
Joe, first, can you... will you recap, Joe? Let me have a drink of water while you do recap.
All right, I will recap. So essentially, you're quite a creative man. I think you're really good with your words. You tell a beautiful story. A couple of weeks back for the Halloween special. No worries. You told a beautiful story about myself in the hot tub. It was a horror story. And for anyone who thinks that isn't scary, listen to it. It will scare the fucking... Oh, it was scary.
Episode 27.
So last
I'm
week...
having nightmares.
Mate, honestly. And then I just challenge you to take your writing ability and create an erotic memoir dedicated to chess. So it's a chess-related erotic memoir. I think we said it's like 50 Shades of Grey, but it's 16 shades of black and white. So they're very chessy, sexy, kind of... It's going to be beautiful out.
Shit.
Just take us away, man.
Yeah, I mean... Totally
first of all, how did you find it?
The challenge? Well, I mean, I've totally missed a brief, I think. So I've written a filthy chess story. Not necessarily got much chess in. It's not a memoir. But it is a bit filthy. I mean, I read it out to my partner earlier, and she said to me, what happened to your podcast? I mean, you've gone from chess to just pure filth. I don't even think you can put this out there. It's disgusting. However, I've changed it a bit. I have toned it down slightly.
I'm guessing she said all this once the lovemaking had finished, because once you tell a memoir, that's the only place it can lead to, really.
You know me, Joe, first. I mean,
I've read your literature.
I'm glad you're clothed today. 2, I do need to see both hands whilst I'm reading this.
Okay.
Come on, hands in the air. That's it, Jophers. That's better.
There we go.
And you can take that out your hand as well. Okay.
Little do you know, I can actually balance the camera on the end of my cock. So both hands might be in the air, but...
And they said I was filthy and taking it too far. Oh, my God.
Come on, Al.
I found it quite... it was tricky to write, only because I'm away in a beautiful location and just couldn't be arsed. I just wanted to do other stuff. But then once I got into it, I quite enjoyed it, and I could, picture it all. Should we just kick it off? I'm gonna adopt a different voice to the scary story that I read the other one in. I think I might go for some sort of posh accent on this one.
Yeah. Sex it up, man. Sex it up.
Okay. Feel free to interrupt, Jophers, if you have to.
Oh, I'm sure I will. I don't think I'll be able to make it through in one sitting, to be honest.
Me neither. But let's have a go. Here we go. Joe, an average chess player, had spent a long time in a secure psychiatric unit. Oh, man.
So is this voice throughout? Is it just so I know?
Hey?
This is definitely the voice you want to go with, just so I know.
I don't know. What sort of voice do you want me to go with?
Well, I can't edit some bollocks onto you in post. Like, that is the most feminine voice I've ever heard in my life. I love it, but it just... I don't know if it screams
with a feminine
sexy.
Voice on a man.
No. It's lovely. It's just... I'm not getting sexy vibes right now, Al.
All right, let me try sexier. Think sexy thoughts. Here we go. Joe, an average chess player, had spent a long time in a secure psychiatric unit. Over the years of his incarceration, Joe had taken on an experimental approach to loving and considered himself an equal opportunities lover. As long as it broke no laws, he was happy to break a few beds. However, his tame Todger technique was described by most as mediocre at best. His poor reputation
tame Todger technique?
Yeah, your tame Todger technique. I don't know.
Okay, all right.
I'm going to repeat that phrase. However, his tame Todger technique was described by most as mediocre at best. His poor reputation had meant that he hadn't had a pants-off dance-off for some time. Joe had once been haunted by the ghost of his charming dead uncle, and it was his uncle who he wanted to turn to now for some smashing advice. In order, though, for this to be possible, he had to first awaken the good-looking ghoul from his ghostly slumber. Luckily, Joe knew a surefire way to summon the strong, spectacled spectre. You, dear listener, may recall that in episode 26 of this wonderful podcast, a story was told in which Joe, whilst bathing naked in an ice bath, was tempted to use his uncle's bishop for some inappropriate special time. To avoid being caught committing a breach of the peace by his uncle, he hastily left the bath, but in doing so he left the bishop and his threadbare stained underpants behind where they dissolved in the once clean water, creating a witch's brew of boxer short badness. The following day he found his dead uncle in the bath after he had inadvertently inhaled the contaminated festering pant water the night before. Ever since this unfortunate incident, Joe heard his uncle's once mellifluous voice repeating the phrase over and over in his head, "Sniff my bishop, my big, beautiful bishop." It had driven him insane. It was because of Joe's depraved chess kinks, in fact, that chess was now banned in Joe's ward. This was unfortunate, as even though he knew the best way to make his uncle come back to haunt him, without a bishop to sniff...
No. I'm editing that pause out.
You're not editing the pause.
What a bad time to take a breath.
I know, sorry about that.
You carry on.
This was unfortunate, as even though he knew the best way to make his uncle come back to haunt him, without a bishop to sniff, Joe didn't know how he could make it happen. He had to hatch a plan. After a restless night where Joe couldn't stop tossing, he woke feeling unusually stiff. He had to find a way to free himself from this sticky mess. He had an idea. And he knew he had to get it to work if ever he wanted hot pudding for supper again. Just like his mind, his plan was ridiculously simple. Later that day, he asked a member of his family if he could use I'm using that voice. Sorry, let me start again. Later that day, he asked a member of staff. Is it staff or staff when you're talking in this voice?
I don't think that's the part of the story that people are going to be picking up on now. I think it's more the inbreeding and the over-sexualised chess talk, but carry on.
Later that day, he asked a member of staff if he could use a phone to call his brother. Joe's brother, a semi-famous Mankini model, was delighted yet shocked to hear Joe's crazy man voice. "I need you, bro. I need you to come into the hospital and visit me. Oh, and smuggle a bishop up your asshole." Joe's brother, no longer shocked by Joe's odd demands, would do anything to help, especially if it involved bishops and assholes. Selecting a bishop of the right size, he hastily obliged. Sitting in the visiting room, facing his brother, Joe savoured the waft of the butt bishop as the smell drifted up from the chess piece concealed in his hand. The exchange hadn't been easy. The embrace was rushed, and his wandering hand struggled to find the base of the once light-coloured bishop. Luckily, the green mankini his brother wore helped. After retrieving it and flicking off the bomb bogies, he held it tight in his hand, waiting for the right moment to take a lungful of arse. His excitement grew by the minute. What bedroom secrets would his uncle reveal? How much satisfaction would he be able to deliver? Could he ever live up to his stud of an uncle's reputation as an exceptional lover? Joe could resist no longer. He held the bishop to his inquisitive, hungry nostrils and breathed deeply. As the odious Bishop Bung Cheese quickly turned his lungs into bagfuls of arse, his uncle suddenly appeared as naked, muscular and toned as the day he died. Joe couldn't stop staring in awe at his uncle. He was amazed at how well death had treated him. He was also a little scared of arousing his uncle, Zanga, as he had been the one that had sent him to the afterlife. Uncle, he stammered. Ah, Joe, his uncle bellowed, do not be afeard, nephew. The afterlife is treating a beefcake like me well. For what reason dost thou disturb me from my deadness? I don't know why he speaks like that. I'm just guessing that's how dead uncles speak. For what reason dost thou disturb me from my deadness? Joe looked pleadingly into his uncle's bright, intelligent eyes. I need you, Uncle. I need you to train me to be an exceptional lover as you were during your brief but well-lived life. Will you help? A knowing grin spread across his uncle's beautiful ghost face.
For fuck's sake. I'm sorry. Carry
Did you
on.
say for fuck's sake?
No, this is just this is just one big love story to yourself, isn't it?
You asked me to write something lovely and erotic. That's what I've done. A knowing grin spread across his uncle's beautiful ghost face. Joe, yes, I was an exceptional lover before I shuffled off this mortal coil, but I have now experienced the other side. And my God, Joe, I have tricks that I can teach you that will improve both your opening theory and practice, and turn you into an endgame master. Oh, Uncle, you never cease to amaze me. What do I have to do? You just have to trust my coaching methods, Joe. I have a series of chess challenges loosely based on chess that I will need you to complete. But first, we need to bust you out of this place. To be continued, Joe, first. That's as far as I got. We'll do a part 2.
You can't leave me hanging there, man. I need to finish myself off. Like that was beautiful.
I'm bringing you to the edge, Joe. I'm bringing you to, before we reach the climax. I'm getting you to the edge. We'll come back and revisit this.
I think you only really mentioned chess once. Or maybe twice.
I think the last sentence I managed to sneak it in twice. I have a series of chess challenges loosely based on chess.
There we go. That was. Honestly, if this podcast doesn't make us much money, I think the video version will. I reckon we just... I don't know, man. There's money to be made with your erotic memoirs. I've said this since day one. They're beautiful.
You have.
You know what the frustrating thing is? You're actually a really good writer. Like, it's worded really well.
Thank you, Joe. That's appreciate. I'll take that. Thank you.
Yeah.
I just love writing erotic chess fiction. I think I found my niche.
I think that is quite a nice niche to explore, Al. It's genuinely, that was beautiful. If everyone else wants to let us know what they thought of it, or if they want to report him to social services because he has kids, whatever you want to do, we will take anything.
Yeah, I'll take it. It's fine. I mean, if anybody wants to complete the story as well, it'd save me the job of doing it, and we'll read out your finished version, possibly.
We could do that.
If it's good. Yeah,
I like it.
We could do. Even if it's shit, we might read it out. 'Cause it'll just save me writing the end of it.
Ow, that was unreal. I loved it.
Oh, thanks, Joffers.
In terms of loving things and exceptionally loving them, what have you been exceptionally loving?
Well, I have exceptionally loved this place I'm at, Joffers. I've really enjoyed living the hermit lifestyle. I've loved. Last night I had a hot tub at midnight. It was a lukewarm tub. It took me 5 hours to heat it up with wood. And I got bored in the end. I just got in. But it was lovely. It's a dark sort of sky area, so loads of stars to look at. And the other thing I've exceptionally loved is teaching my daughter to drive. So she's 17. She's got a provisional licence. She hasn't got car insurance because it costs a bomb. But this is a private road. And if I crashed her, and if she crashed, I'd just say I was driving. So unless any insurers or police are listening to this, I wouldn't say that. That's not something
I'll edit it out.
But edit it out. But it's like a mile-long dirt track to get to the cottage through woods. And I have just given her baptism by fire. So she's never driven before, and I just got her driving this. It's hilly. There's posts you can crash into. It's been raining, and I made her do it at night in the dark.
Oh, you're a good father. I don't know if anyone's ever told you that, but yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I did. I also filmed her just to put under extra pressure. It's how I set the challenges for you, isn't it? I look at these sort of things. It's self-development, but she'll be a better driver for it.
You're gonna
long as the car
my car's getting fucked
week.
in my next challenge, innit?
You've got a new car, haven't you? Maybe it'd be cheaper to
yeah.
put her on your insurance than mine. They want $1,000 for mine to put her on. We'll put her on yours.
$1,000?
$1,000 to put her on. I don't know why.
Okay, now, man, they should wear balaclavas and stripy tops. That's disgusting. That's
Joffers,
awful.
what you been exceptionally loving, man?
You know what? I really hate that we always talk about this thing. It's like an ongoing topic, and I feel like some people are probably bored of it. Some people maybe find it funny, but it happened this week, so I need to talk about it. I was at my missus' auntie's or cousin's, but it was her cousin's birthday yesterday. And then, I don't know how, but me and my missus' dad just got on the topic of holy boxes. He brought it up. He said, I've got a pair of boxes. Yeah, I got a pair of boxes with holes in them, blah, blah. And he kind of confided in me, thinking that I'd be maybe shocked or something. And my eyes lit up. I was like, I'm pouncing on this. We must have had a heart-to-heart for about 15 minutes about holy boxes. And then before you know it, his cousin chimes in. And then the uncle chimes in. And all four of us are just talking about the holes in our boxes. And we're comparing, we're showing photos. It was beautiful, man. It was lovely.
Hold on. That sounds so wrong. You were talking about comparing the holes in your boxes. You talking about your bum holes or tears? We were showing photos. We were comparing it. What are you doing over there, lads? What are you doing? You want to come and get some food? Don't look at the phone. Don't look at the phone.
Oh, man. Sadly, it wasn't that dirty, but it was... but yeah, it was just a good moment. I just thought, I need to remember this for the podcast.
I am shocked. I'm just shocked, like, because I haven't got boxers with holes in. Maybe I am the anomaly here. Maybe I want to know, do people have whole boxers with holes in? You've got holes with a bit of boxer on them. That's the way I look at it. You haven't actually got boxers with holes. Is this a common thing? Is this something I need to start doing?
There's 4 blokes in that room, and all 4 of them have holy boxes that they refuse to throw away. But weirdly, all 4 of them also have wives or girlfriends that are quite disgusted by them and their antics.
Are they? Yeah, I was going to say, have they already married them? Because you want to be careful.
They're settled. You know, when you get comfortable, you can afford to do this kind of thing.
Yeah, no, I guess, Jophus. Well, that is a lovely story. I'm glad you exceptionally loved that. I exceptionally loved hearing it.
There we go. Yeah, but shall we move on now? Shall we give everyone a little taste of our Masters series that we've been working on?
I think we should, Jophus. Before we do that, I always say follow the podcast, rate the podcast, and then I thought, you know what? Not a lot of people actually do any of these things. We get the odd trickle of people do it here and then. That's fair enough, because I probably don't do that for other people's shows that often. I've come up with a mnemonic this week, so it's follow, add, rate, tweet, enjoy, review, share, farters. Just remember, farters, follow, add. I don't know what add is. I just added that bit.
Fuck
I couldn't
it.
think
You
of
needed it. Yeah.
Follow, add, rate, tweet about the show, enjoy the show. If you've enjoyed it, review it and share it. Farters.
That's beautiful.
And go over to our Patreon, because what you're about to listen to is something that we're recording. And we've done 3 or 4 episodes now. They're about to go on Patreon once Joe pulls his whatever he's got up his arse today out and gets on with it. And gets on with that editing. We're going to put them on Patreon, aren't we, Jophers? You can join our Patreon for as little as, I believe, $2 a month or something like that. All helps supports the show, helps Joe get new boxers, new chess pieces that no longer smell of arse. I am just going on. Thank you very much, Jophers.
Nice one. I'll catch you in a bit. Wait, why the fuck are we saying goodbye? There's still like 20 minutes left.
I don't know. Listen to the Masters special about Zukertort. Should we just say goodbye in advance?
Yeah. Goodbye, but don't turn off because there's still 20 minutes of content.
Do we say goodbye at the end of the Zukertort episode? I can't remember.
I don't know. We'll see. There's one way to find out. Let's bollocks off and people can listen.
Play it.
Nice one.
Do it, Jophers.
Fuck, I said it again.
Oh, you said it again. Jophers, we're going to be talking Zukertort. This is the Master Chess series. It's a little bit different from our normal podcast, where we're just going to be talking about chess masters. It's still going to be funny, hopefully. We're going to have a quiz at the end of it. Are you ready for this one, Jophers? You ready to get some Zuck in your life?
Oh, mate, Zuck me up. Zukertort is it's already my favourite Grandmaster name, Al, so this is going to be good.
Seriously, do you know anything about Zukertort before we start this?
Mate, I know so much about Zukertort. Like, there's no point in doing this. Like, I know you're going to try and hit me up with one of your quizzes, and I'm going to ace it. I'm feeling confident.
I am. Oh, well, let's put you to the test, Joe, first. So what was his first 2 names? His surname was Zukertort, his first 2?
Was Zukertort not 2 words? I don't know.
You know, fuck all, then. His name was Jan Hermann Zukertort. He was alive in the 19th century. Another one of these grandmaster dudes who didn't live too long. He was born in 1842, died in 1888. He was born in Poland, or whatever Poland was back then. I don't know what it is. Wikipedia describes him as a Polish-born British-German chess master, so covered his bloody bases, you know what I mean? He's Polish, British, German. Make your mind up, dude. What he's famous for, he's famous for many things, I guess, but famously lost the World Chess Championship in 1886 to Wilhelm Steinitz, and that was regarded as the first World Chess Championship match. So he lost the first World Chess Champion match. I mean, I'd be happy with that. Would you be happy with that?
Not if I was him, but if I was me, I would be.
Even if you're him, I mean, to think that, like, there's loads of chess players. You made it to the bloody final of the World Chess Championship. Yeah, you lost, but anyway, as you're going to find out, he was not happy about that.
Okay.
But there's more to it, you know, between him and Steinitz. We'll go into that. I mean, he graduated in medicine in 1866. He was in the medical corps of the Prussian army, where he saw active service during the Austro-Prussian War and again in the Franco-Prussian War. But that was all outside of chess. His chess career, actually, there was an opening named after him. Are you familiar with Zukertort's opening? The chess opening?
Oh, the chess opening. I ain't come across that one.
You might have done, because you actually mentioned it as a hypermodern opening in one of our other shows that we did, because it's also known as the Reti. So 40 years before it became known as the Reti opening, knight to f3 was also known as the Zukertort.
So Reti kind of jacked it. He kind of stole it.
He just stole his own.
What a prick.
But I think obviously it's just literally one move, knight to f3.
Yeah.
Zukertort's opening. Maybe Reti expanded upon that. I don't know. Maybe. So this guy, this is an impressive fact that I think will fill you full of hope, Joe, first.
Go on.
Zukertort also had a small penis.
Oh, get in there, Zucker. Go on, lad.
I don't know.
Brother.
I don't know what size his wank was. I haven't researched that. Zukertort learned to play chess in Breslau when he was age 19. He didn't start till he was 19. That's quite old.
No, that's ridiculously old for chess. Like, I think if you learn any time after the age of like 10 or 11, then they usually say you ain't got a chance in terms of like becoming a grandma. I don't know. That's mad.
That's something. He had 19. Basically, he entered a tournament in Breslau and he got odds of a queen. So, you know, the other player takes their queen off the board.
Oh, I thought it was like whoever wins the game gets to shag the queen or something.
That too. That was part of it, if you like to think of that. That's fine. And he lost every game. He lost every single game. So he didn't have the best start here. He lost every bloody game. And they didn't even have a queen on the board. He was 19. So we went away and studied this book, which we need to get hold of because it changed his life. It's called Bilguer's Handbuch, something like that.
Okay.
And after studying Bilguer's Handbuch, in 1862, he won games against Adolf Anderssen, who was a leading German chess player at odds of a knight. They're always giving odds, these guys.
Yeah, then you had to party, didn't they?
Anderson gave him... So I don't know, did Anderson have odds of... Anyway, he won the games. And so Anderson was so impressed with him, he studied with him and he taught Zukertort. And within a few years, Zukertort became one of the strongest players in Germany.
That's actually a really nice, I don't know, like success story, isn't it? Like going from 19 not playing
amazing.
to becoming one of the best and kind of, I don't know, he would have been rubbing shoulders with his heroes and stuff. It's pretty cool.
Exactly right. And then at that point, the St. George's Chess Club in London offered Zukertort 20 quid if he would come over to London to play Steinitz.
Okay.
Steinitz at the time was in London, living in London, and he just was not well liked in the chess community. He was a bit braggy. He was too proud. So he'd lived in London for 10 years and he was just too... They wanted Zukertort to come to London to knock him down a peg or two.
Oh, cool.
Offered him 20 quid. What would you do for 20 quid, Joe?
What wouldn't I do for 20 quid? That is the question.
It's a good point. So he's in London. He wins the London 1883 chess tournament, and that was his most significant success. Although personally, I'd argue like being runner-up in the World Championships is a massive success.
True.
Anyway, he won his game against most of the world's leading players. He scored 22-26. He finished 3 points ahead of Steinitz, who was second with 19-26. He's beat Steinitz on this one. So now there is a rivalry. The established Steinitz and Zukertort are the best two players in the world at that point, and that's what led up to that World Chess Championship match. And that match lasted, the World Championship, in 1886. The first World Championship, it lasted from 11th of January to 29th of March.
Fucking hell. Just the two
I
players
don't think
just playing.
it was one game.
That's crazy.
I don't think it was one game that they played for 3 months.
Yeah.
I think the whole series went on for 3 months. Anyway, he lost, as we've said. He lost it.
Imagine buying tickets to that final, though. You'd be livid, wouldn't you?
Just sitting there for 3 months.
3 months. Although, if you can get this, like ringing in sick every day to work, it's like, yeah, nah, still got the shit. You're not going to believe this.
Can't make it again. Yeah. There's a lady I worked with. She rang in sick every year during the Wimbledon Tennis Championships, and everyone knew she was a tennis fan, and she got away with it.
Fair play.
Every year. Anyway, we know he lost that. He lost the defeat. You know what happened to him? He lost the defeat. He was defeated. He lost the match. He kept his own feet.
They're the worst
defeat.
the worst types of losses, aren't they? The ones where you get defeated.
He didn't lose defeat. We're going to cover a grandmaster who did lose defeat, actually. He had a wooden leg.
Oh, sweet.
But that's another episode.
Look forward to that.
Anyway, after this, what happened to the guy? He was just greatly weakened. He took it to heart so much that I think he only lived another 2 years. And after this, he got rheumatism, heart disease, kidney problems, arteriosclerosis.
Keep it light, Al.
All of
Fucking hell.
Huh?
Keep it light.
He didn't get erectile dysfunction. Never
right.
got any of that.
So at least his wife had
so-
a bit more of a happier life.
Exactly. So anyway, basically, he did shit after that match.
Oh, mate, that's
the
devastating.
rivalry between these two was so much. He actually died in 1988. That'd make him really old.
200.
He died in 1888 in London from a cerebral hemorrhage after he'd played a game at a tournament at Simpson's Divan. Have you ever been there? It's actually a restaurant in London that's still open, or a posh clubby sort of restaurant. And, you know, he's buried in London in Brompton Cemetery.
Not being funny, if someone has
you
a
can go-
hemorrhage in my restaurant, I'm probably going to close up.
I mean, you know, you can visit his grave if you want.
Okay.
So I got a quiz for you, Jokers. That's enough of
Hit
history
me
of
up, Al, but
Zukertort.
only if you do your Quizmaster
I found
voice.
him very interesting. So I've got some questions for you. Just get Quizmaster voice ready. Do you want Quizmaster voice, or should I just do it in standard Al voice?
I'm not doing it if it's not the Quizmaster voice. I hate to be a diva, but it's what I came for.
Joe, if you answered Quizmaster voice, that was the correct answer.
Here we go.
Question 1. In Zukertort's biography, he claimed to A. be fluent in 9 languages, B. to have played 6,000 games of chess with Adolf Anderssen, C. to have excellent proficiency in swordsmanship, or D. have won the Iron Cross of the German Army and have been awarded the Order of the Red Eagle.
Ooh, okay. I mean, my first thought was he was German, wasn't he? So like, or Polish German.
Yep.
That first answer, being fluent in 9 languages, actually means fluent in no languages, doesn't it? In German. Because 9 means no. So maybe he's just a big dum-dum. I'm going to go with that, you know. I think he was fluent in 9 languages.
If you said A, you would have been correct.
Hey, it seems like, yeah,
if you
proper
had
smart
said
lad.
B, you would have been correct. If you'd
Okay.
said C, you would have been This guy claimed, so basically they reckon he totally embellished his biography.
Oh, you would though, wouldn't you? That's brilliant.
They said, in an account of his life for the Eastern Daily Press in 1872, many claims were made on his behalf. They said he was of aristocratic descent. None of this has been proven. Aristocratic descent, fluency in 9 languages, 14 according to other sources, proficiency in swordsmanship, dominoes and whist. He played 6,000 games of chess with Adolf Anderssen, fought in numerous battles, was awarded the Order of the Red Eagle and the Iron Cross of the German Army, and 7 other medals. He also found time to get an MD medical doctorate thing at Breslau and work on the staff of Otto von Bismarck's private magazine or something.
What a guy.
In addition, he wrote 2 chess books and worked as editor of a chess magazine for several years. The end ones are proven correct. The rest of them nobody can prove, but he claimed it all.
Mate, if he claims it, I'm backing him up. Fucking genius.
The thing is, what if it's true? And we're just like, it's like, but I did all that shit. I did it. You just
He's
don't
looking
believe
down
me.
at us. It's like, I was so fucking good, man. Like, I spent all my years working hard and people are just calling me a bullshitter. Like, I believe him, I did. I'm on his side.
Taking the piss on a podcast.
Nah, Zukertort, you was the one, man.
For the first 12 years of his life, he was known as Jan Herman Zukertort, Jan Herman Zukertort, Jan Herman Sukitov, Jan Herman Fokertort.
Okay. What were the first 2
The
again?
3 moved countries. Jan Herman Zukertort, Jan Herman Zukertort.
What's the second one?
Jan
How's that
Herman.
even different to his current name?
It's not.
Oh.
Maybe he was just known as his current name. Maybe it's a trick question.
Nah, I'm going to go for
Don't
A.
ask me. If you chose A, Jan Herman Zukertort, you would be correct.
Hey.
He changed his name I don't know. They moved, I think when he was 11, they moved countries and changed his name.
Not being funny, if you get the chance to change your name, don't go with Zukertort. Of all names, you can
When
go
you
with
go for
anything.
Suck it off. Jan
would?
Herman, suck it off.
Oh,
Suck it off. You would, just for the laugh, wouldn't you? Jofers. Zukertort and Steinitz were rivals on and off the board. This led to something known as A, the Ink War, B, the King of the Ring, C, the Battle of the Ages, or D, handbags at pawn.
Handbags at pawn. Ooh. I'm gonna go with, what was C again?
C was the Battle of the Ages.
What was B?
King of the Ring.
I'm gonna go King of the Ring.
Well, Jofers, if you said King of the Ring, you'd be incorrect.
Ah, you bastard. What was
Nah,
it?
They basically, Zukertort and Steinitz were rivals, and it led to something called the Ink War. The King of the Ring was actually a wrestling match between Mick Foley and The Undertaker in 1998.
Oh, fuck's sake.
I threw that in because I know you used to love those little wrestling
did.
figures when you were a kid.
Yeah.
So I thought you'd know that one. And the Battle of the Ages was Holyfield against Foreman.
Ah, that's so annoying.
But yeah, so basically in 1879, Zukertort founded a magazine called the Chess Monthly. And so this gave him like this journalistic platform to write stuff.
Okay.
But Steinitz also wrote in something called The Field. Like, I'm assuming that's the name of the thing. He didn't just sit in a field and write. And in 1880, he won a match. Now, forget that. You don't need to know that. So basically, this is what I was going to say. Zukertort and Steinitz analysed the games of the Blackburn match. There was a match played by Blackburn in their columns, but they had different styles and they were trying to do like one-upmanship against each other. And because they were just battling on and off the board through their writing as well, so it was known as the Ink War. In the heat of their exchanges, Steinitz challenged Zukertort and Hofer to a match. And that has also led to the First World Championship match.
Fair play.
Question 4, Geoffrey. We're nearly there. Steinitz left London to go to New York because London was too much fun. A system he didn't care for. Too hostile. Or too English. Now, I know this question's about Steinitz, not Zukertort, but there's a reason for that.
Okay.
Or had you not noticed, I'd just switch masters on you.
No, I'd zoned out, I'm not going to lie. No. I'm going to say he seems like a miserable sod, doesn't he? I reckon, what was the first one? It wasn't hostile, was it? That was
either
C.
London was too much fun, London was a system he didn't care for, London was too hostile, or London was too English.
I'm going to go with the English one. I reckon he's just a bit of a miserable sod.
Joe Fur's the answer is too hostile.
Ah, bollocks.
Remember, they didn't like Steinitz, so he moved away. It was too hostile.
Oh, towards
So-
him. I thought that he just meant like in general that there was too much crime or something.
Nah, so basically he moved to the US, but he was only willing to play a race to a 10-match race in the US as London had become too hostile. So this is why I mentioned Steinitz here. New York, St. Louis and New Orleans were chosen as venues for this match against Zukertort.
Can I just say, I kind of rate the fact that rather than just being less of a knob, Eddie thought, I'm just going to have to emigrate. Like, I'm not the problem.
Yeah. So the stakes were settled at $2,000 a side. If you think about that, $2,000 back then, Jofers, that works out at $64,000 in modern money.
Fair enough.
For
That's
each
nice.
player. That's a lot of money
Yeah.
then. $64,000, so $2,000. And that was massive for a top flight Masters match at the time. That's more than a lot of them get now for chess matches.
Yeah, there's no
Sometimes I'm
money in chess
shocked
at the
when I
moment.
see. I'm shocked though at how much they get paid. It's like nothing. You win that tournament, you get $500, $1,000.
Yeah, I reckon like the top 30 grandmasters maybe make a living out of chess. Outside of that, I don't know who does.
I won't turn up to play chess against any of those grandmasters for less than like $64,000. Anyway, last one for you, Jofers.
Go on, hit me up.
Question 5. Zukertort died from a stroke age 45. Did I just say died? Oh, yes, cerebral hemorrhage probably led to a stroke.
Okay.
Which leads me to say, watch what you do in the bath, Jode, as we've talked in a previous episode about you having a stroke in the bath. Zukertort died from a stroke age 45. Months earlier, a doctor told him he should quit competitive play. Zukertort replied, "Hey, fuck you, I won't do what you tell me." B. I know that, but play or no play, I must be and am prepared to be taken away at any time without a moment's warning.
That's dramatic.
C. I'm the one that's got to die when it's time for me to die, so let me live my life the way I want to.
Okay.
Or D. It's not that I'm afraid to die, I just don't want to be there when it happens.
Oh, that's poetic. I like that. I'm saying that. He seems like that kind of guy. It's either B or D. I'm saying D.
Okay, you should have gone with B, Joe, if you want to change your mind.
Yeah, go on. I'll
Yeah,
say
it was
B.
B.
It was a D.
B, yeah, he said it was B. D
Okay.
was Woody Allen. Woody Allen said it's not that I'm afraid to die, I just don't want to be there when it happens.
It's pretty poetic, isn't it?
C, I'm the one that's got to die when it's time for me to die, so let me live my life the way I want to. Do you know who that was?
I'm going to say that was Mr. Zukertort.
Now that was Hendrix, Jimi Hendrix.
Jimi Hendrix. Wait, say it again.
I'm the one that's got to die when it's time for me to die, so let me live my life the way I want to.
Was that a lyric or a quote?
And that's a quote. That's what he said.
God, yeah, I'm annoyed I didn't get that. It doesn't sound very Jimi Hendrixy, but yeah, that's my bad.
Well, I did do the Hendrix accent, did I? I did
Go
it
on.
in a
Okay.
Brummie accent.
I'll give you a tenner.
I'll let you do it. You give me a tenner?
Yeah, go on.
Really?
No,
if I get it right, or if I just do it?
No. Yeah, let's move on.
Okay, now he said, I know that play or no play, blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
So, yeah, he suffered a stroke, as we said, in that club, in that restaurant. The restaurant's still there. You can visit Zukertort's grave. Pretty one depressing ending for this episode.
On that high, shall we wrap it up out? And you say the
Oh,
Master
actually,
Series
no.
isn't as funny as the regular one.
Have you learned something? You think you've learned something about Zukertort?
I've learned a bit about Jimi Hendrix, some Woody Allen, bit of Zukertort. No, I have learned quite a lot. And that Steinitz guy sounds like a right bell, and we should cover him at some point. Let's look into him.
Yeah, we'll do one on Steinitz.
Let's
That's
investigate.
coming up soon. Thank you, Joe, first.
Nice one. I'll catch you in a bit.